All right, let's do a show that's really dark. What's going on? That's not in focus. Who is this guy trying to run this show? It's working. That work? Still too dark. Hi, I'm Tom. Welcome to the show. You can't do that on camera. Nope. Still here. Well, there we go. Gotta focus. All right. Hey, there it is. A little higher. Oh, what was that? Okay. We're on a show. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the party. Welcome to You Can't Do This on the do You Can't Do This. You can't do that. Actually, it could be You Can't Do This. It's the same acronym, so I'll call it whatever I want. But you can't do that on Salesforce. Today's episode, apps to make apps. Or I guess maybe tools to make tools or something to that effect. If you've watched the show, and I feel like I'm looking, I don't know who I'm looking at right now. Hi. Fixing again. There we go. If you've watched the show, you have probably witnessed me starting a new app and saying, well, before we do that, we have to do a whole bunch of other setup stuff. We need to set up an app. We need to set a permission set a permission set group, get a whole bunch of things squared away in the org before we start building. And then you've probably also seen me create a new object, create a matching permission set some fields, put it in a group, etc., etc. Wouldn't it be cool if we could just do all that in one shot and not have to hunt and peck every time? So in the process of making this more efficient, we're probably going to have to do some hunting and pecking. However, I feel like there's basically, kind of a starter pack, if you will, for a new app that we start on. You can't do that on Salesforce. It's the same pattern over and over again. So let's try to, just set up a way to make it happen automatically, and maybe set up a way to make those modifications that we make over time. So I think it's going to be like some scripting. It's definitely going to be some metadata. I think there's some CLI work that we can do. So today's episode will be a little bit, I don't want to say nerdier, but probably a little closer to code as we try to figure this stuff out. So let's get started. I have a Scratch org specifically for this project. I was going to do this originally. I thought, well, maybe I'll do this in the the RPG org, which isn't, the other projects are not dead. We're just switching gears here a little bit for today, in anticipation for things in the future. But I didn't want to do it in YCDRPG because keep the metadata clean, right? Keep our repository clean, all that good stuff. So let's not do that. Let's create it in another org, which I've got here called YCD Tools. Seem like a good name. We'll go with that. And if I can put a screen on here, ta-da! All right, there we go. So I think what we're going to have to do is do the thing that gets done every time we start a new project, and understand what the metadata is that results from that, and then kind of reverse engineer that metadata and use it to create what we need to do it again. So a little bit slow-mo mode here, but I have a feeling that if we can see all the moving parts, we're going to be an app. There's going to be, there's going to be permission set. There's going to be fields, all that kind of stuff. Let's see how it comes together with the pattern that I tend to use, and then we'll see what we can make of it from kind of like an automation perspective. I even think that there's ways to automate this by as we go through a project, right? So it's manually in the org, if we could do that from a command line, from a script field, there's commands within the Salesforce CLI that will do that, and essentially we're able to bing 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 and takes care of the other stuff for us. So we'll see. Let's see how this goes. All right, so if we go in super slow-mo mode here, let's open up our org. Opened up somewhere, because honestly it was just I was doing a lot of work off to the side here, wasn't doing it well at all, if I'm being honest. Like I would ramble about stuff and then it wasn't actually up on the screen, so trying to fix that. We got one section of my larger monitor that I can just bring stuff in and out of. So hopefully I'm not talking and pointing at things that y'all can't see. So all right, so usually when I start a new app on the show, I go first into the app manager and I create a new. Let's call this we'll call this test 1, because we're not gonna keep this. We're gonna hopefully be able to create a whole bunch of test 2, test 3, test 4, test whatevers as we go along. Okay, I'm not gonna touch a whole lot of buttons because we just want to kind of start with plain items for right now. I'm not going to add any profiles because we're going to try to live in a permission set based mindset here. Save and finish that. Okay, so that made us some metadata. Let's go see what it looks like. Pull that into our org here. Not our org, into our Visual Studio. Let's see, what did we get? We got test